Justin Bieber, Muhammad Ali, Miley Cyrus. And then there's murderers, rapists, arsonists. I probably have seen more brains than anybody in the world. And now your brain. So this is going to be really hard for you. You have ADHD.
Really?
Dr. Daniel Amen,
the world's leading expert
on the brain.
Dr. Amen's mission is to end mental illness
by creating a revolution in brain health.
Buckle up, Dr. Amen. Let me know what you see.
Your brain is involved in everything you do. And after today, you will always care about your brain.
What things make the brain worse?
Drugs, alcohol, not getting good sleep, sugar, fruit juice, hitting a soccer ball with your head, caffeine.
Caffeine?
It shrinks it.
What's bad about sugar?
You're more likely to get obesity. And as your weight goes up, the actual physical size and function of your brain goes down. That should scare the fat off anyone. And then there's social media. If you're on 3.5 hours a day, you begin to wear out those pleasure centers that bring you happiness, and they bring you pleasure, and they bring you drive. You thrill them to death. But you're not stuck with the brain you have. You can make it better. I can prove it. So it starts with...
Let's look at my brain.
Let's do this. We have evidence of... And that's normal in our society. The problem is 2 or 3 of those can impact the rest of your life, and nobody knows about it.
You can exercise all you want, eat all the right foods, sleep 8 hours a night. If you are not breathing right, you will always be sick.
Shit.
James Nestor, international bestseller on breathing.
As a species, we've largely lost the ability to breathe correctly. James travels the whole world trying to figure out what went wrong and how to fix it.
99% of the people are breathing dysfunctionally. They don't realize the damage they're doing to their bodies and brains by being this way. Look at the way we sit all day long, the way we sleep, the way we eat. The modern world is conspiring to make us sick. Diabetes, asthma, metabolic and autoimmune issues, anxiety, even ADHD. Experts said it is 100% related to your breathing at night, especially.
Really?
Bad breathing habits are a recipe for disaster, which is what has happened for so many kids today. So if you're a parent and if you can hear them breathing when they're sleeping, this is a big red flag. But I believe that everybody can become a good breather, and these steps are free. We can do this while we're seated here. So the first thing is to...
Carbon dioxide is seen as this poison. Why?
Levels over 800 into 1,000 can have serious issues with cognitive and physical functions. I've been recording our CO2 during this interview.
It's going up.
And if we were to continue working in here for the next few hours, you will...
Jesus.
If you smoke marijuana, even if your partner does not and is never around you when you're using it, she has a higher chance of a miscarriage. If we talk about reproductive health in general, cigarette smoking for women and your eggs are going to decrease your egg count, your egg quality, and the rate of miscarriage significantly. For men, what we see is it decreases your sperm count, your sperm motility, and the quality, the shape of the sperm, also increasing miscarriage. Marijuana does this as well. If you smoke marijuana, even if your partner does not and is never around you when you're using it, she has a higher chance of a miscarriage just because you're smoking marijuana, because of DNA damage inside the sperm's head.
Okay, I'm giving her bad sperm. What about vaping?
We don't know as much about vaping, but it appears in all the preliminary studies to be similarly very bad. What you're breathing with vaping might even be more harmful than cigarettes, potentially.
Those are all the pills you take in one day?
111, because that's where the data led me. This is how you don't die.
Brian Johnson.
The man who spends $2 million a year to slow down his age.
He's managed to reverse his biological age already
to an 18-year-old.
Projected to live to 200.
The only objective we have is don't die. I've opted into an algorithm that takes better care of me than I can myself. It sounds overwhelming in the beginning, but trust me on this. So my bedtime is at 8:30.
And you had 100% sleep?
4 months straight now.
What about hanky-panky?
Not after 8:30.
Alcohol?
3 ounces every morning with breakfast.
For breakfast?
For breakfast. My last meal of the day is at 11 a.m. and every calorie has to fight for its life.
You were very kind in bringing me some food. Presumably this is what you eat?
That's right. If you ask the body, what do you want to eat to be in ideal health? This is the answer that it generated.
That is a mushroom covered in chocolate.
How fun.
Why is Brian doing this? I was thinking about what your father went through, and I was wondering if there's some kind of link there.
It was always on my mind. I mean, he's in pain, and he's stuck, and he can't overcome this terrible thing that's ruining his life. You know, like...
Are you trying to keep him alive?
I am.
You're very, very clearly mission-driven. The ultimate question becomes, are you happy?
No one has ever asked me the questions that you've asked me today. Releasing new music first time in like 3 years. This time I'm shitting myself.
Why? I remember that video of you doing you found out your net worth.
Oh yeah. That's 10 fucking million quid sitting about somewhere. Where the fuck is it?
No label would ever tell you that is the strategy to become successful.
You can fully just put a picture of you with a towel wrapped around your head and these stupid glasses on with your top off on a big massive poster on the tube. It's less about being like a polished fucking pop star or whatever. People see through that shit.
You are living an extraordinarily unhuman life. What is the reality?
I have really bad anxiety. It never reached a tipping point until after getting famous. I fucking hate recording albums. Despise doing music videos. I only do all that stuff because playing live is this fucking unparalleled thing that you can't compare it to anything else. So like when that was making me feel shy, if it's like, fuck, I don't know if I can do any of this shit anymore. My dad gave me a lift home from the airport one night and I was twitching like fuck, to the point where he started crying in the car. I couldn't concentrate on work I was doing because I was so convinced that I was going to die.
What is the question that no one asks you that would reveal the most untapped answer?
I think
they were asking the right questions.
We can stop as much as you want, by the way. We don't have to carry on.
Game of Thrones is the biggest show on television.
Game of Thrones flipped my whole world on its head. I sometimes worry that I'm like alienated because it all happened when I was so young, and like literally from the age of 12 I've been like set for life. I had a traumatic relationship with my dad, and ever since I can remember, like I've really struggled sleeping. It had like met its like peak, and I was at school. I was taken by a teacher to the staff room. She was saying like, what's happened? I think a lot of the traumatic things that were happening, I didn't realize that they were wrong. I would look around at other kids and be like, where does the joy, when does that come for me?
When you were 22, you talked about issues with substance abuse.
Yeah, I just had that sense of impending doom and I didn't know how to make it go away. But it was like definitely something that I was like, I need to stop doing this if I want to like feel happiness.
I'm gonna come and give you a hug. When I say day 102, does it bring back any memories?
It's the only YouTube video that I didn't release.
My name is Russ Cook and I'm attempting to become the first person ever to run the entire length of Africa.
It was probably the hardest part of my whole life.
What happened?
So, I'm going down this dirt path and two blokes on a motorbike pull up. I knew that if I'm on the bike for longer than half an hour, it's bad news. I ended up spending 7 hours on that motorbike going into the jungle. I was getting kidnapped.
Your partner told us that she thought you had died.
I mean, I thought I was going to die as well.
Were you thinking about people back home? Russ, I don't think many people know that you did all this stuff before Africa. 22 years old, you become the first person to run from Asia to London. You buried yourself alive for 7 days. You pulled a car for a marathon in record time, which is pretty crazy. What were you looking for?
God, that's one hell of a question, man. Things had got pretty bad. I wasn't speaking to my family. I was drinking and gambling. I would wake up throughout the week and just bursting into tears, crying.
You had dark thoughts?
Yeah. But ultimately, you know, no one was going to come and save me. It just had to be me. And I thought Africa would be the best adventure ever.
But day 30, you start pissing blood.
I knew it was bad. It'd probably end.
You get robbed at gunpoint.
They got passports, money.
And then a falling out amongst the team. You've not talked about this in detail either.
I just blew up, shouting at everyone, throwing chairs.
What happened?
Well,
with Drake and Josh, I felt pissed that started this whole mess.
He's an actor, comedian, one half of Drake and Josh. A staple of my childhood. Hug me, brother!
The headline of the first 10 years of my life was single mom, never knew my dad, didn't have enough money for a slice of pizza.
15 years old, Drake and Josh. One would assume that you'd be like set for life.
There was no residuals, and I'm as worried about next year's financial status as anyone else. I don't have that security. While doing the show, we made about... I was not properly appreciated for my work. If I wanted to, at will, I could blow that up.
18 years old, you lose 127 pounds.
Yeah.
One would assume that dropping 127 pounds would make you feel different about yourself.
I dealt with the effect, but I didn't deal with the cause. It was anger at my dad, it was anger at my circumstance. Everything was going right, and I still didn't feel like enough. Substituting what I used food for with drinking and with other substance, at 21, it all came barreling down on me. I hurt relationships and work, I worried the people that loved me, and I realized that I needed to do something. And what you do in that moment decides what's gonna happen next for you. You cannot think your way into right acting, you have to act your way into right thinking.
Is there anything that's really helped you that you might recommend to someone listening at home?
Yes. So
the problem we had in the band, and I don't blame anybody for this, I don't want to seem like I'm whining or moaning, oh my God, look at my life, whatever. But it feels to me like when we were in the band, the best way to secure us, because of how big it got, was just lock us in our rooms. And of course, what's in the room? Minibar. So at a certain point, I thought, well, I'm going to have a party for one. And that just seemed to carry on throughout many years of my life. And then you look back, how long you've been drinking and stuff, where you're like, Jesus Christ, that's a long time. Even for someone who's, you know, as young as I was. It was wild. But it was like the only way you could get frustration out in the day, or being trapped. And you know, I spoke to somebody about this, and in child development, you know, as a teen, the one thing you need is freedom to make choices and freedom to do stuff. And it was the one thing that, although we could do anything we wanted, it seemed from the outside that we were always locked in a room at night, and then it would be car, hotel room, stage, sing, locked. So it was like they pulled the dust cloth off, let us out for a minute, and then woohoo, and then it's like back underneath it, and I'm like, gut.
Do we get fatter with age?
Yes. Between 20 and 50 years old, the average person will gain about 15 kilos in weight.
I don't want to be that guy. What can I do?
Okay, so
Dr. Giles Yo. He's the world leading expert on fat and how to burn it. His book is called Why Calories Don't Count. What you eat does matter.
Let's talk about how we fix the obesity, how we burn fat, how we all get into a healthy weight.
Everyone's brain hates it when they lose weight. We're talking even a few pounds. It goes, this is reducing my chance of survival. The moment you stop the diet, the weight will come back on.
Calories are not accurate. What's the truth?
The calorie tells you absolutely nothing. Zero. So if you actually look at a stick of celery, raw, it's got only 6 calories. If you cook the celery, that 6 calories becomes 30 calories. Understand the limitations and caveats of calorie counting.
Veganism, what are the general stereotypes that need addressing?
Veganism, plant-based in particular, is a diet for the privileged people who can choose to do so. We do not need everyone to be vegan.
Sustainable weight loss. What is the way that you would suggest to do that? The simple way?
Okay. It is the set of numbers that you can apply to whatever diet you like. So the first is...
Let's talk about something else which I feel like I was lied to about.
Oh God.
Which is juice.
Oh, yes.